Traders, welcome to the afternoon session. It's December 30th, 2025, right on top of New Year's. Today we're going to talk about the reverse mullet, about how we're going to calculate and look for the reverse mullet going forward, and the integration of our two filter systems and two filtering mechanisms. And I don't know which one's going to win in the end. They'll have to prove themselves. But until then, we're going to use them both because they both make sense. All right, let's get started here with what the reverse mullet is. Reverse mullet is simply a deep pullback entry technique. And the deep entry technique, pullback technique, we have it plotted where there's nothing else other than just the reverse mullet rules in play. So the best way to describe the reverse mullet going forward is that you're keeping your eye on this panel, the top panel here. Let's close that down. This panel here is what you're keeping your eye on. You know that the minute that this center line changes colors, it shifts from a jiggle setup to a potential reverse mullet setup. These bars have extended far enough to trigger an alert, and that's why they're colored red currently. All you're doing is, the only thing you have to keep your eye on is the reverse mullet panel. As long as it's red and you get it down close, the reverse mullet setup is complete for the bearish setups. Now forget about the 216 EMA I have up there right now. Here is a bullish reverse mullet. You can see here that it goes up, it pulls back. This is a jiggle setup, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Oops, center line turned red. Now it colors green for a reverse mullet. All we're looking for is an up close while the panel remains green. It's not any harder than that. There's the up close, and we get 5, 6, 7 closes. So that's the reverse mullet. I can't create anything else to say about what a reverse mullet is other than what I just said. Anything else I add to what I just said could convolute it. What negates a reverse mullet? Why, a change of color in the panel. Here's a bearish reverse mullet, deep pullback, close, and you get it. Now, don't be looking at the cumulative delta right now. I'm just talking about the basic raw reverse mullet. Here's one. Big deep pullback. Panel holds it, and then it flips right the bar prior to the up close. It's a shame because that was one bar away from a really nice trade. So that's the abort criteria right there. Change of color on this bar. They're like, well, I should have taken that one. Yeah, but there's 50 others where this bar changes. You get 2 closes and then it reverses. Then it's a bearish jiggle, and you're like, man, why didn't I wait for the jiggle? So you're like, well, what criteria would I use between a bullish reverse mullet and a bearish jiggle? The filtering systems, when we get to that. That's what I'm not going to say it's going to keep you on the right side every time, but it will at least stop any internal wrestling about which side you want to trade on. Okay, let's migrate over into reverse mullets with cumulative delta. Alignment. All right, we see here that you can see I don't have the jiggle activated here, but red downtrend, close above this. If we had the jiggle on the chart here, it would be turning those bars red. Up until that point there, center line turns green. Now the bars turn red to alert you of a potential reverse mullet. Panel is red, and we have an actual CD stack. These are the ones here that I believe are going to test out to be the best. It's when you have the stack, and that is fast moving average below the center line below the slow moving average, and you get the setup complete. Do I think it's going to be 100%? No, but who knows? I don't know what it's going to end up being once we get the ability to test it. All right, but that's using the cumulative delta. Let's go and check out some more. Here's another. This is just one bar telling us that this bar here met the criteria for a reverse mullet, a deep pullback setup, and we get the down close. Panel is red, and we also have cumulative delta leaning our way. And this setup here is actually, man, I can't tell. That's so close. That math right there may negate the stack, but it's still a valid setup for a reverse mullet. I'm going to find another one to show what I'm talking about. This would have prevented you from taking this bullish reverse mullet because we don't have that. So this trade would not have been taken. The cumulative delta did its job. I think I took that one yesterday as a long shot. I know I did. Yeah. I don't know why I wasn't looking at this. I don't know what I did. I think that was the demo trade that I lost on. Okay, even though this turned out to be a good trade from a cumulative delta perspective, it was not. You would have sidestepped that one. Again, cumulative delta. We haven't gotten to the net change. Same with this. Cumulative delta did not. I'm going to queue up my M&Q charts while we do this, because M&Q is far more stable than the NASDAQ. Yeah, see, M&Q net change or a cumulative delta told you could take that trade. M&Q told us we could take that trade. Oh, but we didn't have the panel. Let's check this one. Yeah, M&Q said we could take that one. The M&Q net change, I don't know how to integrate that, to be honest with you. It is far, far more stable than the NQ cumulative delta. And I've plotted both the cumulative delta by Gill and the NinjaTrader order flow cumulative delta, and they're one and the same. There's no difference. All right, here is one where it's a definite, everything is in alignment on the cumulative delta, but the cumulative delta for the M&Q is, see, it's further away. It's just cleaner. It looks a lot cleaner. All the way down the MNQ. And I don't know how to do that. It's perplexing. I've got to think about it because it's just a better signal than this. Okay, here's another one. This says don't take it, but MNQ says full steam ahead on the short trade. Yeah, Richard, that's what I've said all along, and that's why I keep watching MNQ. I defer to that. If there's if we're in a triple red and the MNQ, I think they just play more games inside of the NQ than they do in the MNQ. There's far more, there's a lot more volume, like 3 times the volume in MNQs. And I think that NQ, they really get in there and just jack that around. But MNQ is just spot on all the time. So again, I don't know whenever, Richard, when we start working on this, if I had my choice, we would plot MNQ cumulative delta on the lower panel against NQ's price action. I mean, I'm trading MNQs in all my funded accounts. The only reason I trade NQs here is just because I don't even have a good reason. Just a demo account. Everybody seems to try to trade the NQ in their prop firm accounts, even though you're way over leveraged. I mean, you're just way over leveraged in prop firm accounts if you're trading NQs. I mean, your risk of ruin is through the roof. All right, here is a valid setup. Notice how bunched up it is right here. See how bunched up it is right there? Now I want you to look at the MNQs. It's not even a question. It's just like, okay, I see it. I'm taking that trade right there. So I love this. And when I first built this was one of the reasons I got away from this cumulative delta model. And 2 years ago when I built this, I never drilled down to the MNQ. And I don't know if the same thing existed back then. The volume explosion in MNQs, I don't know exactly when it took the lead. It may have been, last year sometime, 18 months ago. I don't know. But it's one of the reasons I love this model, but it got out of whack quite a bit. And the minute when I brought this back and I plotted it on MNQs, it was like, okay, this is just really spot on right now. So anyway, got to watch both of those. So let's look again here. Now this one's in line. I'm glad this showed up. So here we have a valid bearish reverse mullet. It's jiggle, 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 jiggle. Oops, turns green. Now we're going to a deeper pullback. We get alerted, red bar. We're looking for the down close. There's the down close. Now you're like, well, the fast moving average is above the center line. Yeah, it doesn't matter in a reverse mullet. You're going to take that trade as long as this fast is below that slow moving average. Now, what I want to test is the stack. What I call the stack is when fast is below, on bearish trades, fast is below center line below slow. I believe those are going to reduce the trades and possibly increase the win rate. From an eyeball perspective, that doesn't mean anything until we test it. But this is a valid position, and MNQ looks just like this on this trade. Here's another one. Beautiful, beautiful trade. This is a stack right here. There's a CD stack. So that's an easy trade to take. And MNQs corroborate that. Here's a bullish, a stack, and off we go. And MNQs are not even that pronounced right there. They're flat. I mean, look how flat it is right here. An easy reverse mullet to take. Here's one that just didn't work out. And even the MNQs are saying it's okay to take that. It's just a trade that didn't work out. I mean, it's going to happen like that. Because you're filtering it doesn't mean you're going to have never going to have losing trades. That's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Here's one that the CD on both models, MNQ and NQ, are saying that rally is a fake out, and it actually turned out to be. But we did not have a setup right there. All right, so let's go back now and just take a look at the cumulative delta model and the net change model. That should narrow it down even more. Yeah, MNQ's net changes is clean. This one is not clean. MNQ's is absolutely clean right there. I think that was it right there. Yeah, that was one. Yeah, MNQs are just absolutely clean. And we had the triple red inside that as well. You know, I'm just looking at the last 5 days of December, which is, there's not a lot of action. Here we go with a nice trade, and neither one of the cumulative deltas confirm this setup here. Neither one. The only thing you have going is the net change triple red. And when I say the only thing, I mean it's enough. It's definitely enough. All right, hey, sounds good, Richard. You know, we've gotten very little prolonged activity in a triple red or a triple green environment, just simply because every day the market is just flip-flopping around the net change line. There's very little conviction to move it one way or the other. But here's a good one. And again, I'm only looking for one good trade. So here we have the triple red, and we have cumulative delta confirming. So does the MNQ. It confirms it as well. Here is one confirmed. This is a stack, and it's also confirmed on MNQs. Now here is one that's just out of bounds on the NASDAQ, but look at what's happening. You know, this is a valid setup here for net change. cumulative delta says it looks like they're accumulating all the way through here. And the cumulative delta for MNQs confirmed this. I mean, they confirmed it, but the cumulative delta was telling you, if you look at this move that came up right here, I mean, look at that monstrous move. That explains the games in the NASDAQ that they were playing there. But we had a valid setup here if we use the MNQ cumulative delta as a valid setup. So we had MNQ CD plus the triple red environment for this trade. Here's another one. The NASDAQ cumulative delta says no way, but look at where the MNQ's data was. And right here, let's pull it down just a little bit. Yeah. So you can see the difference there. All right, there's the difference in the two cumulative deltas. The MNQ is all over it. The NASDAQ is just, who knows what they're doing to cause that gyration there in the deltas. I mean, to me, it just looks like shenanigans is what it looks like. And up here, look at this. I mean, the NASDAQ is cumulative delta is just off the charts, but the MNQs are saying, hey, this move's just not over yet. Okay, definitely not over yet. It hadn't even, it's still bearish. And then if we go back further, right in here, you know, MNQs are telling you that, yeah, don't fall for that. Don't fall for this. Wait for the setups on the short side. So I don't have anything else to talk about when it comes to the reverse mullet and cumulative delta and net change. But the key takeaway from this, the more I work with both of these, is that if you're using, until we get this sorted out, if you like the cumulative delta model, I love it. It's good. I also like, I like the net change. I don't know which one's going to win out, that's still yet to be proven. But I strongly recommend running another chart with the MNQ net change or cumulative delta, because it is far, far more accurate. And when I see both of the cumulative deltas in line with each other, I'm really looking for a trade. You've seen me trade more John Wicks. It's because of that. When I see the NASDAQ net cumulative delta looking like this, and when the MNQ's net delta cumulative delta is looking like that, and I see these wicks, I have this week when I took those 5 trades in my funded accounts, I had to take 5 separate trades. Well, 2 of those were John Wick trades, just because of something like this right here. I had confidence because both of them were in gear with each other, and confident that I could get at least my first take profit out of the way. So that's my only takeaway, is if you have the space, plot both of those charts just so you can keep an eye on them. We'll get it figured out. Not tomorrow, not next week, but in the month ahead, we'll get that figured out. Okay, that's all I have for today. Let me go ahead and stop the recording.